Hello, everybody. My name is Benny, and welcome to the Fool's Apprentice. Today, we're going to go over James R. Eads' Lenormand deck, which is the second deck in his set. I'm really excited to go through this because I haven't gone through this at all. But before we go through that, let me tell you this morning, actually, just not even this long ago, I have a senior dog. Her name is Precious. She's adorable. And one of the things that's been happening is she sometimes will try to jump onto the couch, and she finds that she can't. So I went over there, to pick her up and put her on the couch. Oh, well, as I leaned over, she jumped up and her head just smashed right into my nose. Oh my God, that hurt so bad. I had my eyes turned red, they were watery. For a second, I thought she had broken my nose. So I went to the bathroom to look. And it felt like I had a little indentation, but since I can touch it, it's not broken. But it sure felt like it. And so my nose is all red, and I think I'm going to have a little bruising right here. So, what a way to start the morning, right? So, anyway, back to the Lenormand deck. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera over and we'll get started. All right, one moment, please. Okay, I'm back. So, let me tell you, I'm still loving these cards these colors quite a bit. I think these colors are just absolutely beautiful. Again, really love the fact that the back of the box has some examples of the cards that are going to be in the set. Really, really love it. And then it tells you right off the bat how many cards you have, that you have a guidebook, who it's by, when it was published. Really just love this box. And of course, look how pretty that is. That is so nice. God, this is so well done. And then I think it's called a clam box, I think. But I love the magnet on this. And let me tell you, nothing worse than having one of these that doesn't work. Let me get a box. This is the Drifting Moon Tarot. I love this deck. Love it, love it, love it. But let me tell you, I cannot stand the box. Look at this. That's how it is. It doesn't close, which is very frustrating to me. And so when I put it on my shelf, I generally put it in the back, even though I love the imagery in the front and would like to see it anytime I come to my shelving. But by the fact that it has this, it just drives me insane. So I really, really appreciate when things are done very professionally, like James Eads' box. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Stands perfectly. And the magnet, so you can hear it, is pretty strong. Okay. So like I said, I haven't gone through this deck. So let's see. Again, beautiful. I love how he stays with the color thing. And then the writing, there are many paths that have led you here, and there are many paths that lead away from here. May these cards recall the paths you have traveled. May they illuminate the paths that need guidance, and may they reveal that there are some paths better left unknown. I love that. And so the book, beautiful. Just enough space on the inside. And then the cards. With a nice little ribbon. And look at that. Look at the gilding. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, look at that rainbow. Oh my God, that is stunning. I didn't realize that it was going to have a rainbow gilding. And then on the inside, you have the dog. And this is pretty sturdy as well. I mean, hear that? That's really, really well done. So let's go through the guidebook a little bit. So he has a lot of information in here. Like just so much. a little note from him. Welcome to Lenormand. He has how to do Lenormand poetry, which I think is really nice. And he's really talking about how he ended up doing the journey from the Lenormand to actually creating the whole set. One of the things that he really likes, that I really like that he wrote, is talking about why he ended up doing the whole thing. Because when he initially did the Lenormand, he had no plans to create any other deck. But then he ended up, I believe it was the Cosmic Visions that he created, and he wrote about that it took a lot of me. It was deep and dark and beautiful. And so he talked about needing to have something much more lighter, and this is all in the book, and why he ended, which led to him developing the whole set, which I think is really, really good background. And then he talks about the Lenormand, and he gives you a little history right here. Where did it come from? Which I really appreciate, especially since I'm really brand new to Lenormand. In fact, I haven't even gotten into it. But it is eventually somewhere where I want to go once I get, I think, proficient with the tarot. Talked about why everything's in the card to include the numbers. And then he just goes over every part of what's in the Lenormand. And then he gives you a mnemonic. And it's this story that if you memorize the stories, then you can memorize the sequence of the cards. He talks about like how the colors can mean something, how the images facing one way or another can mean something, which is it just provides you with so much information. Really shows how to write poetry, how to do readings based on how many cards you have. And then, let me see, there's the Grand Toublon. I don't know how to pronounce that, so that's why it sounded horrible. And so then he gets into the cards, and then you just get, all the meanings, which I think is really nice. And then in the back, he has, look at all this. He has this game of hope, which is very interesting to me. So I think this provides a lot of good information that can be utilized while you're learning, or I think even when, as someone who's known them, while you're learning, and even if you're someone who's experienced. So let's get into the cards. Oh my God, look at that. Okay, let me zoom in. And not too much, because I'm finding that when I do my cards, like sometimes they're out of the frame, which has been annoying me. But then again, I'm new to YouTube, and it's a learning process, right? So where are my old man glasses? Here they are. Let me put them on, and we'll get started. Okay. So look at this rider. Isn't that beautiful? And they have a nice little sheen to them. It's not too much. I think it provides a protective coating for the cards, as well as a little bit of color saturation, which I think is nice. I love that the shadows are in the similar tone or value. So green, blue, green. The borders are green. Really, really like that. The clover, very nice. Oh, I love the ship. I love the multicolored ship in water. That's beautiful. A house, probably a house that everybody wants to live in. Like, these are the size of houses like back in the day, not now when you have to have 200,000 square feet. That was an exaggeration, by the way. Very nice. Probably the sun, I guess, in the background. This is a very interesting. When I first saw this, I thought it was water, but as you can see, it's clouds. Oh, one of the other things is that he talks. Here's a glyph right there. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Come on, let's focus. There's a glyph right there, which he talks about provides another layer that you can utilize in your readings. But I thought this was water, but it's clouds, and so I found that very interesting. Obviously, the snake. I like this coffin. I love that each of the skulls have a different shape. Like this one's wider, this is longer, this is probably a little more traditional. I love that you could see the green in the wood. Very traditional looking coffin. The bouquet, very nice. The whip. There I go, going off camera again. Now let me tell you, this is such an endearing card. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. It feels so delicate. And you know, you have 3 little birds, 1, 2, 3, and then you have 3 glyphs, 1, 2, 3. Isn't that interesting? So I'd be interested to read why that is, or learn why that is. Okay, very, very nice. I love that. It looks like he's holding a glyph right there, and it shows up in the shadow. Then we have the glyph here. Cute little fox. Love that rust color. Well, let me tell you, Mama Bear ain't playing around. You ain't gonna mess with her baby. You know, I find that interesting, that the yellow here, and then you got a little yellow dot. So I really want to know what these little dots are all about. The stars, isn't that lovely? I could actually see these as tattoos. Those are so nice. If you hear that in the background, that is Precious having a snack. I don't know why she's eating again. She just ate like 20 minutes ago. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. I love the movement in this dog. You know, for me, dogs have this sense of joy and happiness, and that's what I get from this card, is that sense of joy and happiness. Has his mouth open. I love that. Now these cards aren't too slippy, but as you can see, they kind of slide a little bit. And I guess it's because it has that sheen coating. Oh, and I love that the bricks here have different colors. And the windows as well. Very nice. The garden. Oh my gosh. So one of the things this reminds me of is I used to do a meditation practice where I would close my eyes and I created this very safe place where I could go. And it was this very elaborate garden in my mind. And when I just needed to decompress, what I would do is I just would imagine this garden, and I would just see myself entering. I'd see myself sitting down, taking a breath, watching butterflies, so forth and so on. And it would just kind of give me some space where I could breathe before I came back to the real world. But that's what that reminds me of. That's really, really nice. Mountains. Look at that. Beautiful. Now, I love this path card. You know, the idea that you have to make a choice, that each path can lead it in its own way. That's nice. this is not as delicate or as cute as the birds, but yeah, 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 mice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of mice. Ooh, this is interesting. Oh, look at that. It's just not the shape of a heart. It's actually the organ itself. That, and there's that blue. I like that as well. And then there's a ring. Kind of looks like a rainbow ring with a nice shadow. You know, and what I like is these borders really kind of set the image in, and you know, the text is not too small. Now, granted, I'm wearing reading glasses, but I think for people that have decent to good vision, I don't think that the wording is going to be an issue. The letter, oh, and look at that. Okay, this is kind of cool. If you, oh, come on. Okay, let's do this again. Up, up. Here, you could see, looks like they did a reading because the cards are laid out. And then there's some scribble and images. So it looks like somebody did a reading for somebody else. The gentleman. Actually, I want to lay these out. Okay, so we got the gentleman. Let's go. And then we got the lady. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside because I want to see if there is another lady and gentleman in here. So I'm going to put these up here for now. Then we have this beautiful lily. Doesn't feel as delicate as I think a lily should feel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like that card or not. Definitely my least favorite so far. Okay, this is one of my favorite cards. Look, I just love the power of this card and the movement of it just coming at you. I guess you could see it like moving forward towards. It looks like a bullseye, but it's actually a sun. It looks like there's an explosion that occurred and then all these rocks, you know, flying from the sun. Here's the moon. I love that you could see the crescent moon in color, but then you get the full image of the moon. That's very, very nice. So that could be read in two kind of different ways, I guess. The key with the jewel in the center. Oh, I do like this card. These koi fish with a little guy peeking on the side. Like a third wheel. The anchor. And now this one looks like, you know, it hit the bottom of whatever body of water they're in, and is now moving down to lay flat, and this is the movement of that occurring with the rope. The cross. And I like that the sun is behind and has the appropriate shadow casting out. So that's really, really good. So here's another lady. I knew that there was going to be another one because I have the original version that I had purchased. So we'll put this over here. Then we got the gentleman. Very nice. And then we got the person. We will discuss these in a minute. And then we got another person. And finally the albatross. So these are really beautiful. So of course now they're not going to be in order. But I will say what I really like about these is that you have options. So let me see if I can get them to fit all. Let me zoom out. Let me see if I can get them all to fit. Probably not, but we're going to give it a try. Can I get them to all fit? Maybe if I push them all together. Let's see. Okay, that's the best I can do. Now, what I really like about this is that you, oh, you know what? Let me switch this so we can have, here we go. So we can have them side by side. Let me see, are we still on the camera? All right, sorry I'm taking so long. I just want to make sure that we could see them all at the same time as I speak about them. So I think I love the diversity of this for several reasons. Here, the lady and the gentleman, they look more formal, probably a couple of people who are older. Here, you have the lady and the gentleman that are probably a little bit younger, more casual. You know, here you have somebody wearing a dress, you have somebody wearing a pant. And so this feels like you could use these cards for people based on age, also based on dress. You know, people who tend to be a little bit, who dress more formal compared to people who are very, you know, much more laid back. And really what I love, 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 love is the fact that you have person 1 and person 2. Now, I love the fact that it's person because we got this new language out in the last several years regarding people being gender fluid. And so this really allows for that to be used. People who don't, you know, generally identify very male or very female. So these cards really allow for that to happen. I also like these because you can have these cards, right? These cards right here. And then if the reading dealt with relationships, love, romance, I could have a male and a female, and then 2 people. You could use one, you can use both, that could represent either male or female or someone mysterious in the reading. So I really, really, really like that. So overall, and then, okay, look at this. The card stock is really good. So I haven't shuffled these cards. I don't even know if you can shuffle these cards. They're so small. We're going to find out. Let's see. Can we shuffle these cards? Let's see. Look at that. You can't riffle. That is, wow. I didn't think we were going to be able to do that because they're so small, but yep, you can. Oh, and look at that. How easy does that slide together? All right. So I'm going to lay some cards out. I'm not going to do any kind of pretend reading because of the fact that I am not familiar with the Lenormand. Eventually I will. Look at that. And it's keeping its shape. Very nice. So if you're interested in getting this deck, I think that would be, this is a good deck to get if you're into Lenormand. And I just love how they create a really beautiful image all together. I mean, talk about really creating beautiful artwork. I mean, I could sit here and just look at these cards all day long. They are so beautiful. I'm really liking that heart a lot more than I thought I would. That would also be a very nice tattoo. Look at that. I mean, just stunning. Absolutely stunning. So now, a couple of things. If you're new to Lenormand or you want to learn some more, I will tell you that one of my favorite YouTubers, tarot YouTubers, is Kelly from the Truth and Story. She has 2 series on the Lenormand, which I haven't gone through. I've actually taken a quick peek at them. They look really, really good. The one of them is a series where she goes through the Lenormand for 31 consecutive days. She says it's for beginners, and she has three handouts for people. She has the questions that she does for every single day. She has a list of keywords for each card, and then she has a handout for spreads for everybody. Now, the second one, and I believe that it followed the first one, is really helping you kind of figure out how to read the cards. Really goes over the basics of Lenormand. And so that would also be another series that you could take. And they're on YouTube. And I recently took Kelly's tarot class. She provides a wealth of information. And so if you're interested in learning the Lenormand and getting a deck, this is one of the most beautiful ones that I have seen out there. And I've seen a lot of Lenormand videos, and I had a couple of other Lenormands that I really didn't care for that I thought I was going to like. And if you want to learn, Kelly from The Truth and Story has she's an excellent teacher. She's an expert in her field, so she would be someone that you would want to learn from. And with that, thank you for coming and watching another video on my channel. Have a nice day, and until next time, I'm the Fool's Apprentice. Goodbye.